Today, we're going to be taking a look at a ship that I have not featured since Wargaming lent it to me some months ago, the legendary tier Italian battleship Colombo. And it is driven by a viewer of the channel, Hippersdontlie. I think I've featured some of his games in the past. This one in the Colombo is going to be a good one. I think Hippersdontlie was caught up in the menus there, noticing that a fellow CC is actually on the team with him. Big B2O Gaming over there in a destroyer, I think. I don't know what destroyer. I just missed it. But in any case, Hippersdontlie is going to have a cracking game in the Colombo here, and he's going to demonstrate why people consider this to be the best battleship at Legendary tier. He spawns in between the Bravo and Charlie Cap and immediately starts heading toward the Charlie flank, along with a friendly destroyer and cruiser, which I think is the exact right move. Musashi appears over there on the horizon. I think Hippersdontlie is considering whether to shoot, and he gets spotted there anyway, so I suppose why not? Salvo is out, but I'm not expecting great results there at that kind of angle against the Musashi. Still, a little bit of damage is better than none. 6,500 thereabouts, and we're still heading toward the Charlie Cap, slightly angled to the enemy spawn, which is good. Alaska gets picked up there. He is flat broadside, and so is Yamato. And, I mean, who do you shoot in this scenario? Maybe the radar cruiser, but at the same time, if you're getting that kind of broadside from an enemy Yamato, well, it's probably illegal not to take that shot. Unfortunately, results are not spectacular. Not a lot of damage there, certainly no citadels. And that's when Hippersdontlie decides to deploy the smoke screen and go dark. Likely, I would think, because he wants to turn in. I think he's taking a look at the smoke firing penalty there on the Colombo, which is an absolutely outrageous and completely ridiculous, I think 10.9 kilometers. That probably shouldn't be that good, but in any case, Hippersdontlie is able to take a follow-up shot on Yamato from the concealment of his smokescreen, and that one, at the very least, does some pretty good damage. Then, Des Moines gets spotted. Note, there are two friendly destroyers in the Charlie Cap who are probably being radared or about to be radared by the Des Moines at this very moment. So in order to save those two destroyers and help his team, I would be taking a shot at the Des Moines, but Yamato, even still, is giving broadside. So another shot out his way. Maybe this one will result in a citadel and a kill, finally. No, not quite. Yamato continues to get away with it. Des Moines spotted, though, and it looks like he is about to make a terrible error. He does manage to take out one of the friendly destroyers there, which is kind of unfortunate, but now, flat broadside as he radars the final remaining enemy destroyer. Hippersdontlie really needs to save this guy, and there's the salvo. It is a salvo of salvation, in fact, not for the Des Moines, but for the friendly destroyer. The Des Moines goes down in a dev strike, 4 citadels there, and that's the first kill of the game. Already up to 80,000 damage, actually. And not even 5 minutes have elapsed, so we're off to a good start in any case. Destroyer has been forced to leave the capture circle, which is perhaps not ideal, but he should be able to get inside of it again and hopefully start flipping. Spotted, though. By what? It would have to be, I assume, the enemy destroyer somewhere on this flank, which is not necessarily ideal. Hipper, though, has the stern, Hippersdontlie, not to be confused with the former community contributor, Tier 7 Hipper. Hippersdontlie has the stern of his ship pointed at the threats, though, which I always think is a decent idea, although Colombo is maybe not the best suited battleship for kiting. It does have sort of this box on which the last turret on the stern of the ship sits. That box is very rectangular, and it is practically designed for catching and arming shells. It's almost like a third broadside in some sense. You kind of don't really want to show it to the enemy team if you can help it, but it doesn't matter if that Yamato, who I guess has finally learned he shouldn't give flat broadside to the enemy team, is just going to sit there. Yamato does take a big hit, and, well, he's lost enough HP that salvo there was enough to take him out for Hippersdontlie second kill of the game. I think that just leaves the Alaska remaining on this flank, aside from whatever is turning the Charlie Cap red, likely the destroyer, which is the source of this one single torpedo that thankfully runs out before it reaches the Colombo's hull. The battleship there, though, I don't think he's going to be floating for too much longer, and while Colombo does have a ton of guns, they are 15-inch guns, so Alaska should be able to mitigate a good deal of that damage. Alaska, though, pushing in toward that nearly deceased friendly battleship. I'm not exactly sure what the plan is here, but I don't think he really needs to be getting this aggressive. He does take out the battleship, and he's just sailing straight forward bow in, shooting at the other friendly battleship that is over there to the left-hand side of the screen. Looks like he's turning to get all guns on target as one of the Colombo salvos temporarily disables one of his guns, and, well, not much can explain this particular maneuver by the Alaska. I don't really think you want to give this kind of broadside to Colombo's 15-inch guns, but, well, let's see if it works out for him. The Alaska is, well, its citadel is pretty low in the waterline, perhaps unhittable in some cases, but, well, not in that case. He does take a citadel, and he goes down for the third kill of the game, leaving only the enemy destroyer in this cap, who looks like he is about to be set upon by the last remaining friendly cruiser over here. Torpedoes on the way, but these are, of course, Shimakaze torpedoes. They are spotted well in advance by the friendly cruiser, and so it's just a matter of going forward a little bit. There, by the way, is a pretty juicy chunk that Hippersdontlie takes in the broadside, or perhaps in that shell-catching structure on the stern that I was talking about earlier. It does look like he has his stern pointed toward the rest of the enemy team. So, well, there you go. And also the Colombo has that sort of step thing going on where the stern of the ship is lower than the midsection, so a lot of real estate there for shells to catch and arm. Still, things are looking okay. The blue team has 6 ships left floating. Enemy team only has 4. The cruiser is in pursuit of the enemy Shimakaze, who I think has inexplicably stopped and smoked up inside of the Charlie Cap, which, well, I don't think things are going to be... Okay, no, he has run away, which is the right choice. He just gets spotted by the friendly destroyer, and I think that is going to spell his demise. At this point, if I was Hippersdontlie, I would certainly be turning in. It looks like he's going to do that, trying to see if maybe he can sneak the kill and pick up that Shimakaze. Friendly destroyer there misses. I don't think that salvo is going to hit, but we'll see. Hippersdontlie deploying a smokescreen to go dark, I suppose, so he can finish his turn without having to worry about taking shots from the Musashi or the Ohio. Perhaps not necessary. I don't think any of those guys are really paying attention to what's going on this side of the map. In any case, Shimakaze has been driven away. He's still floating, which is not ideal, and he does manage to go dark. But the friendly cruiser should be able to take Charlie. Bravo is as yet unoccupied, and the red team is inside of the Alpha Cap. Well, scratch that. A red battleship is inside of the Alpha Cap, and I don't think he's going to have much success in taking it. And actually, he may no longer be inside of it because it doesn't look like there's a blue ship in there contesting it. Minimap is very small, though, kind of hard to see. In any case, we've just got an enemy Musashi out there doing the bow tanking reverse game. Salvo out his way. Results are not spectacular, but that is to be expected. Why does the friendly cruiser keep getting reset in the Charlie Cap? Is the Shimakaze shooting at him? He certainly has lost a lot of HP. Not ideal. This game, it doesn't perhaps look super close at the moment, but it certainly is. The blue team has more ships than the red, and they do have more caps, as far as I can tell. They're not ahead on points, though. Okay, no, the red Alpha Cap is definitely contested by the red team. There is a battleship inside of it, as well as a blue battleship. So the blue team actually has no source of points, unless the cruiser, which continues to get reset in Charlie, manages to flip it. So, close game. Could go either way, but low health Pommern out there. Shots out, and that should spell the demise of the Pommern for the 4th kill of the game. Nope. it gets taken by the friendly teammates. That's fine. That just leaves the Ohio, the Shima, and the Musashi, and they're all right here. So how are we going to approach this? Well, Musashi, or Shima rather, is dead, so just Ohio and Musashi. That means the approach can pretty much be anything Hippersdontlie wants it to be, especially if the Ohio is going to push in. Looks like he's going forward toward the friendly battleship inside of the Alpha Cap, and if he wants to continue on that path, he's going to come around that corner and present flat broadside to the Colombo here. Perhaps he knows that the Colombo is here, and that is what is stopping him from pushing out, or perhaps he's just noticed the Zhao, which I think actually is being driven by our fellow CC, Big B2O Gaming. I think I said he was in a destroyer earlier on, but if I remember correctly, he's actually in that Zhao, and he does get one torp maybe there on the Ohio. In any case, Hippersdontlie elects to go the other way around this island in the center of the cap, and well, in this scenario, you might as well pause for a second and take the capture circle for the XP it nets you and for the extra points income. Theoretically, the Ohio and Musashi could take out all of the ships still, and they could win this game. They're never going to do it, though, because they're both essentially in the same grid square, ensuring that there's no possible way that they can develop a crossfire between the two of them. So it's incumbent then on Hippersdontlie to push in here and try to get the Musashi's broadside. Looks like Musashi is trying to extricate himself from his position, but it's too little too late. Takes a massive hit there from somebody on the blue team, and he's got so little HP that hopefully this shot, into his superstructure, takes him out. Somehow he gets a citadel there. It must have been through the cheek, but definitely unexpected. And finally, just the friendly Ohio left, giving flat, well, not quite flat broadside to the Colombo. He is angled away. Even so, the Colombo throws a lot of shells at the hull, as they say. And if enough of them stick, well, that can be a lot of damage. In this case, quite a good result, actually, especially against the angled Ohio. 6 penetrations there, 2 shatters, but 8 shells in total, dealing damage. Ohio is well on his way back to port. Hippersdontlie is up to 171,000 damage, but the Kraken here is up for grabs. Can it be gotten? Well, with the Colombo's volume of firepower and the superstructure shots we've seen earlier on in this battle, I think, well, it's no surprise that that is the kill shot for the Confederate and the Kraken. Hippersdontlie, along with Big B2O Gaming in the Zhao, carry this match. 3,200 base XP for Hippersdontlie and over 3,000 for Big B2O Gaming. Pretty good results. Hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.